Hello gang, and welcome to another Tuesday of drawing. I'm Miss Gabby. This is my doodle art. Say hello, Artie. That's my dog. He's gonna get groomed on Tuesday or Saturday, so he will be all nice and clean. But anyways, welcome to another week of drawing. Today we are going to do the Funko Pop, the Mad Hatter. So I am excited to do this because these are the Mad Hatter and the Queen of Hearts are two of my favorite characters. So I'm gonna do the Mad Hatter today with you. It's the simpler of the two. Funko Pops can be a little tricky, but I'm gonna try and show you a trick on how to make it a little easier for you and not be so overwhelmed with when you go to draw a Funko Pop, because they're really fun to draw and I get addicted to drawing them. We may not finish coloring it all together, you and I, but I encourage you to do that and to finish coloring it after we're done. I like to keep my videos at least an hour 10 at max, so depending on how far we get, but we will definitely color a little bit together. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and I'm going to put you on the stand, and then we're going to start our Funko Pop Mad Hatter. Okay? All right. So, Mr. Artie, say, ooh, hold on, how do I, there we go. Mr. Artie, guys, this is my dog, Artie, and that's my cat, Rosie. Rosie has 3 legs. She was adopted at Action for Animals in Latrobe, PA. She's about 8-9 years old, and the two of them, as you can see, they love each other very much. Artie loves giving hugs and kisses to Rosie, and Rosie puts up with it, but she does whack back. So those are my babies. All right, okay. So now that you saw my furry babies, and I'm letting Art out this time, and one bark, and then he goes back in the room. So I really don't see this lasting long. Okay. All right, who is ready to create? I know I am. All right, so if we look at the Funko Pop, let's look at the body. Let's break it down a little bit. We've got a lot of shapes here. His head is a big rectangle. Okay? So look at that. Big rectangle. His body, if you just ignore his elbows for a second, his body again is a rectangular shape as well. Okay? And then if you get down to the feet, it is a rectangular shape. Guidelines, these are all guidelines to lay out your Funko Pop. And then, of course, his hat, again, is another 2 rectangles. Okay, so as you can see, the brim of his hat is a very long, thin rectangle. And then his hat up here are rectangles. As far as putting in his hair, it's basically a triangle. 2 triangle shapes. And then, of course, you've got circles for the eyes. And we're going to do some fun things with the eyebrows. His eyebrows look like my eyebrows right now. They're furry and way overdue. So we could probably match. But anyways, so as you can see, lots of shapes. When you break it down and you look at it piece by piece, it's just a lot of shapes put together. So to start, we're going to put our paper the long way, okay? And we're gonna start with that rectangular shape. Now, we're gonna start about middle of the page, or little, well, if this is the middle of the page, we're gonna start a little bit above the middle of the page, but not too far up because you wanna have room for the hat, okay? So, when you're doing the head, you're gonna start here, make a line, and then make 2 lines going straight down. Now you're gonna curve your corners on the bottom. Okay, and remember, you're keeping these nice and light. I'm pushing harder so you can see, but you're keeping yours nice and light. Okay? Simple. Simple, simple, simple. So we've made straight line across, 2 straight lines down, curve on the corners, straight line across on the bottom. All right. Hold on a second. I'm gonna lower that music just a tiny, tiny bit here. Don't go anywhere. I just think it's too loud here. There, that's better. Okay. All right, so now that we have our rectangle, we are going to make our hat next, okay? So we're gonna look at this piece right here, and we're gonna make this piece, the brim part of his hat. So we're gonna go 2 straight lines, 2 little straight lines going out. Then we're gonna make a diagonal line coming up on each side. And then we're gonna connect them. Now right now it's gonna be pointy, and that's okay. We can curve it. Curve those edges. Okay, give those edges a curve. And you know what? If you want a pointed edge, there's no right or wrong. You can keep a pointed edge. You can keep a complete rectangle, you know, the sides if you wanted to do that. So you can actually make it your own if that's what you want to do. Remember, there's no right or wrong. This is your creation. So whatever works and whatever is easiest for you. Okay, so now we're gonna do the top part now of his hat, okay? Now here's the fun part. When I do a lot of drawing, I like to look at different parts of what I'm drawing, like for instance, different parts of his body, and compare and see how big, how many faces would the hat be? How many faces would the body be? Okay, so this becomes my measuring device. So I measure with my 2 fingers how wide this is gonna be, and then I bring it up here and I say, ooh, okay, at the tip of my brim to the top part of my finger, it's as wide as my head, as tall as my head. So I'm gonna take my 2 fingers, I'm gonna measure, and then I'm gonna put my finger on my thumb on the bottom, and wherever my finger falls on the top, that's where my hat's gonna be. That's where the top part of my hat's gonna be. And if you take drawing classes from me in the summer or in the fall, we do a lot. We're gonna do a lot more with that. Measuring and eyeballing and just making it a lot simpler, and drawing really what you see and not what you think you see. And that's that's my mantra from my drawing classes. Always has been, always will be. Draw what you see. Okay, so now we've made our rectangle here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide it. And notice that my hat is just as wide as my face, okay? Now I'm gonna bring this part up and I'm gonna angle it out. Bring it straight up, angle it out, round the edges. And come up and around. Now I'm going to erase this line right here. Now I'm drawing way harder than what we should be, but it's okay. Okay, so now we have the hat, we have the brim. Now that you have your hat on, if you want to make the brim part a little longer, you can. I like to exaggerate a little bit, so I like to make it a little, when I'm doing stuff like this, and not, you know, portraits that I have to be 100% realistic. I always like to exaggerate some of the features. Okay. So I want to come in a little bit more right there. Okay. All right, now what we're gonna do is, time being, we're gonna go down to the bottom here. And we're gonna, again, we're gonna measure our face. And our face is, measure your face, take your finger down to the chin of your face, and then where your thumb is, make another line, and that's going to be where his legs end. And we're just going to make a rectangle right in the center. I'm going to make a rectangle. Now remember, these are all guidelines. It looks really weird, but they are all guidelines. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is, this rectangle that we're making here is for his, oops, I just dropped mine. It's for his feet. So see this rectangle right here that we're making? Okay, that's the rectangle we're making here. Right there. So then we're going to make a rectangle, and we're going to come out as far as his head. And now we've got where our feet are going to go. Okay? All right, now we get to put in our guidelines here. Never mind, don't do that. Thought I wanted that angle. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide this in half. So we have two. I do want it there. See, you know, gang, this is one thing that I do all the time. And I play with it. Okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, this is the waist, this is where the waist is gonna be. And what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna make his shoulder now. So we're gonna come up, make 2 diagonal lines. Straight line, and then a diagonal line coming in this way. Okay? Then we're going to, so I'm probably rushing you, make 2 diagonal lines, a straight line, these are for his elbow, and then a diagonal line going down and inward for his arms, okay? Then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna come in, see this line right here? We're gonna keep that. Where we bend the elbow, we're gonna make a straight line across like that. And then we're gonna make a little slanted line on this side like that. And now we can erase these 2 lines right here. And what we got is we're gonna make his cup. We're gonna make a straight line, almost like a triangle. And then we're gonna make another skinny oval shape. And then of course we have to have his little handle here. And that's what he'll be holding on to. Okay, now, very easy, what I want you to do is I want you to make a curve. We're gonna make his cuff on his arm here of his jacket. So we're gonna make 2 curved lines. 1, 2. We're gonna go over to this side. We're gonna make a curved line here. 1, 2. And then we're gonna go up to the top, and right in the middle, we're gonna make a circle. And then we're gonna make a triangle on each side for his bow tie. We're not gonna put his arms in, or his hands in just yet. Okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to make our pointy lines here around his elbow. We're gonna curve them. So now we're gonna lose the points and we're gonna make the curves. And we're also going to erase a little bit of that top line that we made right here. We're gonna erase those lines too. Okay, so now what I want you to do is, for the hand, we're gonna make a U shape, sideways U shape, right here, and that's gonna go in front of your handle for your tea cup, and then we'll erase that. And then we're just gonna make 2 more U's, like that, and erase this little tip right here. So it's just boom, boom, 2 curves. Now this side, you're gonna see his thumb. So we're gonna make a straight line and a curve like that. And then another 2 curves like that. Try to simplify it as best as I could. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to go back and we're going to, right in the middle of his bow tie, we're going to add a line, 2 lines here for his coat. Oops, wrong one. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to round it off. Come down here, round it off. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the middle here underneath the teacup, and we're going to make a W for his vest. Okay? Now, if you wanted to give him a floppy bow tie, you could, and that's just making it a little bit bigger with wavy lines. Okay, and then we're going to make right underneath, we're going to make an upside down U shape to separate each leg. And we're going to take our pants till we get to this line here that we made. And then we're just going to make a little wavy line across to the bottom of our pants. Look how cute he looks. Okay. Now, if you wanted to give him some details on his cloak, you could. If you wanted to give him stripes on his pants, you could give him some wavy stripes on his pants. Or if you wanted to give stripes on his cloak, you could do that. Totally is up to you. Okay, you just do that. Or you could leave them all one color. It honestly does not matter. Whatever you want. And then if you wanted to give him a button right here, too, you could. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go back down to here, and we're going to make his feet. So we're going to make a tiny straight line down, and then another straight line all the way down till we get down to our spot there, the bottom part here. And then we're going to go over. So we're going to make a line. And then we're going to make another line and then a diagonal line, and it's going to end up being curved a little bit. Diagonal line, another line being curved. Then what we're gonna do to give it just a little bit of dimension, see this corner right here? We're gonna put a little slice in it. We're gonna angle that corner, then we're gonna erase the point to give his shoes a little dimension here. And then we're gonna add the bottom part of his shoe. What do you think? This is challenging, I know. And if you wanted to make his pants a little bit longer, you could. I think I'm gonna make his pants just a little bit longer there. Okay, so your body is done. What do you think? Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're going to go where our shoulders are right here, and we're gonna go straight up with our fingers, and right about midway, we're gonna make a circle. And then where our other finger is, we're gonna make that other circle. And you want to leave enough room for his bushy eyebrows. So you also want to leave a little circle, a little highlight. Alright, how cute he looks. Okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our eyebrows, okay? So we're going to add a curved line on the top of our eye, above our eye. We're going to add a curved line there, above our eye, curved line there. And then we're gonna think of it as like a flame, okay? So look at this, it's just like, it looks like a big flame coming up out of his eye, on each eye. And it's going at an angle, okay? So, we're just gonna make a wave shape. We're gonna go up, back in, come back up, back in, make another wave, and you can make his eyebrows as bushy and as big as you want. You're just making curved lines, little waves, and then we'll go to this side, come up and curve around, come up, come back down, make a wave, come back down that way. How bushy his eyebrows are, I love it. Okay. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the hair. So we're gonna make a diagonal line right under the brim here. Diagonal line curving out on both sides. And then we're gonna make a point, and we're gonna come back, down, and under the chin. We're gonna come back down, under the chin. Like wings for right now. And what I want you to do is then, I want you to go around that line and I want you to make it wavy. Make the whole line wavy. So that's why lighten up your line. That was a guideline anyways, I forgot to tell you that. But that was a guideline, so now I want you to go back over it and I just want you to make a wave going all the way around. How cute is he? Okay, so you're not really gonna see a mouth and you're really not gonna see a nose, but if you wanted to put two tiny little dots like that for his nose, you could. And then if you wanted to add patches on his hat, you could add some patches. Anywhere you want, doesn't matter. And then let's add some wrinkles going across for his fabric part of his hat. Add some wrinkles there. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You enjoying this? I hope so. I know that it can be overwhelming, and that's why I try really hard to break it down piece by piece. Sometimes I'm not verbally good at explaining. My students will tell you that, but if you just watch a couple times, go back and rewind it and look closely, you'll be able to understand it a lot more. So usually at the studio, I'm like, the thingy connected to the other thingy, and but we have a good time. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to decide what colors you want to make your Mad Hatter, and you can make them the colors that I did, or you can make them your own, and it's totally up to you to decide. Now, I want to tell you something about the hair. You don't have to do the hair like I'm going to show you today. If you want to just do it all one color and make it easy and simple, you can, okay? Or if you want to try the hair like this, you can do that as well. So that's totally up to you. But what I want you to do is, I want you to get your black marker. And I'm trying to find mine. Here we go. And the first thing we gotta do is we have to outline our eyes. And outline the baby circle. And then we have to color them in, because we need to see those eyes. Okay, so we're gonna color them in. And we're gonna go to our other eye, color that eye in. My goodness, how cute is he? All right. Okay, now what we want to do is outline our face. Okay. And let's hold off on outlining the hair and eyebrows. And let's go down and let's outline our bow tie. Now, if you have a design on your bow tie, if you have a design on your coat or your pants, we're not gonna do it with our black marker, but we are going to do the main outline of our body and with the black marker. So don't do anything inside, just do the outside, okay? So there's my handle, and then there's my hand, okay? We'll go over to the cup. And then we'll outline our other hand, the other side of our arm here. Cute. Oh my goodness. I love him. Okay, now, I was going to tell you something. What was I going to tell you? Oh, do the coat part so you can do the coat. And then all you're going to see is the bottom part of his vest. And then his pants. Okay, like I said, don't do any design in the inside. You're just worrying about the outside right now. And then his feet. Okay, so then let's go up to his brim of his hat here and outline that. And then we'll outline the middle part of the hat and then the top part of the hat. And then you can add your waves with your black marker. And then if you want, you can outline your patches. And you can even give a couple little stitches here and there. Okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to decide if you want to do your hair with this make curly hair. Do you remember when we were doing our flowers for our Mother's Day? We started in the middle and we just did a very simple spiral going out. That's all you're gonna do. You're just going to make continual spirals that touch each other, okay? And not all of them are going to be the same size. So you're going to have a couple different sizes. You're going to have some baby ones. And then you're going to have some real big ones. And sometimes those big ones might end up going behind another one, so you're maybe not going to see all of it. Okay? It's just very simple. You could actually get lost in doing this. Circular spiral shapes. So, if you wanted to, you could start, and you could do this with your black marker, or if you wanted to, you could do it with your red marker. Why don't I do it with my red marker to show you? So we'll start here. So I'm going to start right down in the corner here. All I'm going to do is just start my spiral like that. And then I'll do another one. Oops. And then another one. And we're just spiraling until we cover the whole thing. Okay, so that's just all it is a continuous spiral. And if you wanted to do it with pencil first, you could, doesn't matter. But really, honestly, once you do it with pencil, sometimes because I've done this, you tend to get obsessed with how they look and you keep erasing it, putting it back in and erasing it and putting it back in. So the marker sort of forces you to be loose and to be very free with it. This is a Zentangle doodle approach and technique. and spiral is one of my favorites. I just love filling things up with spirals, and I could just sit here all day and just do this with you. And as you can see where I started, I got real big, but then as I started, then I get smaller, and then I tend to start getting smaller and smaller, so I force myself to put a few big ones in there. See? So there is no right or wrong about where it goes or where it's going to end up. And you can work with it wherever it goes. So you can't say I screwed up, I messed up, that looks awful, because it doesn't. It looks perfect. Okay, and if you're not following your line or whatever, you go out of your line, that's all right. That's why I didn't tell you to put that wavy line in, because if you wanted to adjust it as you made your curls, you could. All right. So that is what the hair is like. And then when we go to color the hair, you'll just get your, let me get my red and my orange and my yellow out. And just start to put in your color, and just, you can color right over it. That's the fun thing about doing that, is that once you put your design on, then you can go back over it with your colored pencils or your crayons and fill it in with, and go right over it without having to worry about staying in those spiral lines. So for my little babes, this is a definite mommy and me project, but it's fun to color in once it's all drawn out. And then you can switch in between. If you have a lighter orange, you could switch, and the tip there, you can make your hair almost on fire at the end with this light orange here. I love it. And then you could even add a little bit more of a shadow around the face to show that the hair is behind. So it's a simplified look, and one I love. So now if you want to do your eyebrows, then you can go back and you can outline them with your red. And then you can color them in. And this time we're gonna color with our darker orange down at the bottom here. And then as we go up to the top, we're gonna get lighter. With their lighter orange, a little glow. Then we're gonna do the face. So even though the face is white, we're gonna add just a little bit of pink in his cheeks and a little bit of blue on the side to show a little bit of dimension so it's not so flat. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get the lightest pink that you have, and right underneath his eye here, at an angle, you're going to make an oval shape. Okay, so we're pretty much focusing on this corner right here. And we're just making a very light oval shape. I'm hardly touching the paper, and I'm going really fast with my circles. Okay, then we're gonna go over to here, and we're gonna do the same thing. Add a diagonal. Oh my goodness, he is too cute. Love him. Okay, so if you have a blue, preferably if you have a lighter blue, I have a blue-green in my hand. If you have teal, if you have turquoise, grab that. If you don't, you can have regular blue. It works too, okay? All we're gonna do is on the edge here, very lightly, we're just gonna add the slightest bit of blue, making like an L shape down that end. Slightest bit, making a backwards L or a J. Going under, around the cheek area, down to the chin here. Like that, okay? And then just a little bit, very lightly, just a little bit of underneath each eyebrow, above each eye, underneath the eyebrow, and then just a little bit in the inside part of this side of the eye. Okay? And then just a tiny little bit, tiny little bit above. And just by doing that, look how much that pops. Now, let's go down to his hands. Same thing you would do with his hands. Let's take your blue. Let's just add a little bit of blue on just top part of each finger. Very lightly. And boom, that's it. Okay? Now, I'm gonna get my green here, my two greens, my light green and my dark green. And I'm gonna start coloring in. Oh my goodness, where's my green? There it is. Okay, I'm gonna start coloring in my hat now. So, I'm going to start down at the bottom here with my green. And then halfway, I'm going to switch to my lighter green. If you don't have a lighter green, then just do the whole thing with your dark green and add some yellow up at the top like we have done in the past before with our leaves, okay? If you want to just color it in and you don't want to do any shading, you can definitely do that. You don't have to do all of the shading. You just want to color it in, you can color it in. It's your piece. Do whatever you want. Okay, and then we're gonna go up at the top here and color in our hat. I'm gonna go around my little pieces of fabric, my little patches, because I'll make those different colors. And I didn't do this, gang, but you know, always erase your lines, those extra lines that you have that you don't need anymore. Always erase them before you start to color, because you want to get rid of those, and you don't want your crayons to smear with those and your hand to smear even more than what it already did. So I'm left-handed, so I smear an awful lot. Always erasing, or if you're real bad, you can get a piece of tissue paper or a Kleenex, or just another piece of paper, and just slide it under your wrist, and then that way that'll help prevent the smudge. Look how cute he looks. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and I'm going to make his cloak green, and I'm going to make his cuffs light green. Well, no, I'm going to make his cuffs purple. That's right, purple. I don't want him to look like a leprechaun. So, have you seen the Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp? That's my favorite. I love Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter. Every time it's on TV, I watch it. He's a little different from the Disney version of the Mad Hatter, but I love him. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to get my blue. And before I do that, I'm going to get my blue marker, and I'm going to outline my stripes that I have on his pants here. And I'm going to color those in. And you can color those in with your marker if you want. You can do all of this with your marker if you wanted to. You don't have to, you know, totally up to you. Alright, and then I'm going to color my stripes in with my marker so they stand out. And Artie is sound asleep next to me here, all curled up in a ball. He looks like one of the blankets. Can't see his face or his eyes, he's so shaggy. But next week he will be nice and clean and shaved probably, because he's so long and he doesn't let me brush him. So he's probably mad at it a little bit. But I'll post a picture this weekend of what he looks like. Okay, so he's got his cute little pants. Now I'm gonna color them in blue. And then I'm gonna get my purple out, And I'm gonna color my boots purple. Anybody have purple boots? I don't. And this color combination is really cool too. I love the reds with the purples and the blues and greens. It's just really is a great color combination. Very bold and bright, and that's what I like. However, if you like the more subtle pastel look, you can do that. I mean, there's totally, like I said before, no right or wrong to this. If you make it what you want it to be. So now I'm going to color my cuffs of his jacket. And I'm also going to make his bow tie purple. And speaking of bow ties, I ordered Artie bow ties this week. They come in tomorrow. I can't wait. Or no, Saturday. They come in Saturday. And I can't wait to put a bow tie on him. Look how cute he looks. Oh my god. Seriously, adorable. Okay, so now the edge of my coat here, I'm going to make a light green. And then his vest, I'm going to make black, I think, or brown. Black or brown, black. Oh, I spoke too soon. There he goes. Hey. No. So I'm going to color in my vest black. And that actually makes the white cup stand out. Now, if you want to color his cup a different color, you can. You don't have to leave it white. Or if you wanted to leave it white, by making that black, that makes it really pop out. So that's totally up to you as well. And then I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to make this part magenta, like a darker magenta color. So break it up a little bit. So I'm going to color that in. And then your patches, you can color in whatever colors you want. Now when you're working with fabric and you see the creases, the waves in between the fabric, that's really fun to do. And what I do is I pick a side. I either go up on the top or down on the bottom. And I just hit with my crayon a little bit harder. And it gives it a real nice pop. Alright, so what do you think? I'm liking this here. Super nice. So when you're doing Funko Pops and you're and you want to draw another Funko Pop, you know, simplifying it and getting it down to what the shapes is what you start with, you know. Who would have thought that all those triangles that we made in the beginning of class, or not triangles, rectangles, I'm sorry, rectangles we made in the beginning of class would turn into, boom, this. So, yeah, just really look at it and break it down. Put as many guidelines on it as you need. and you break it down to as far as you need to. So by studying it a little bit and looking at the picture and seeing what you can pull out and pop out and make, it, like for example, I have Bob Ross here, and if you look on his back here, it's very simple. They pretty much all start with a rectangle down at the bottom here, and then chop that rectangle in half. Just make sure that when you're making the body, the whole purpose of your Funko Pop is to keep your head big. You want to keep your head much bigger than your body, okay? So make sure that when you're doing this and you put your eyes in, your eyes line up with the edge of always line up with the edge of your body. Look at that, okay? And look, we did it too. Lined up with the edge of our body, right underneath our shoulders, okay? So, gang, I had so much fun drawing our Funko Pop today. I hope you had fun too. I will put the finished piece on my Facebook page. I would love to see your Funko Pops. I would love for you to actually create your own and post your Funko Pop for me. One thing you can do is it's beautiful. It's kind of cloudy, but it's a great day to just go outside, sit on the porch, take your sketchbook and just sketch. And that's why using your colored pencils and your markers are the easiest. They're the easiest to transport and take wherever you want. Or sit out in the lawn, on the grass, under your tree, whatever you want. So it's nice and relaxing. But I will see you here Thursday. We're going to do Scooby-Doo, and I'm really excited to do that with you. So thanks for tuning in. I love drawing with you. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my favorite days. I can't get enough. But I will see you guys on Tuesdays, so have a great day. Bye, gang.